Hi, I'm Phil, and today I'm going to talk about the M5Stack CO2 unit. It also has temperature and humidity sensors on board. So I'll use this mind map to describe what it is. I'll talk about the hardware and more about the software in one of my projects, which is being used to commission and test the sensor. But I'll give you some references. So why do we bother measuring carbon dioxide? Well, it's a contributor towards the global heating of the planet. And it's not only an issue in environmental studies, but it also has a big effect on our health. And we used to think that a level of 5,000 parts per million was the danger point. We're now beginning to consider anything above 700 parts per million to be an issue, and we should start thinking about fresh air and ventilation. But measuring carbon dioxide is also important in agriculture because it's one of the ingredients to nourish and develop plants. So CO2 on health, taking this from Wikipedia, we can have a look at the impact on our health. And we can start off with a small amount of carbon dioxide in the air, say 1%, and we feel a bit drowsy. And it becomes more and more severe when we increase the percentage of carbon dioxide in the air. And eventually it could have not only short-term effects like causing headaches, but there can also be longer-term impacts. And this can be quite important also in climate change because the amount of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere is increasing. So we're going to use a non-dispersive infrared sensor. And the way that this works is that there's a light source and a chamber. And the carbon dioxide goes in the chamber or a sampling cavity. And at the other end, we measure the disturbance of the light, which is infrared light, and it's modulated, and we want to see how it changes with a sensor. And the sensor we'll be using is a MEMS microphone. So in effect, what we're doing is using light and converting the signal to sound on this sensor. And on the bottom diagram, you can actually see the wavelength of the light source, very broad band, but our absorption of carbon dioxide is quite narrow. So you can see it's from around about 4.5 to 5. Around about this area, we've got a couple of peaks, and we want to make sure that our sensor is able to distinguish this gas from other gases and even vapor, water vapor in the atmosphere. So we'll be using a carbon dioxide unit from M5Stack that uses this principle. But since the principle depends and has a relationship with the air temperature and humidity, this unit includes those sensors to compensate, so you get a much more accurate reading. And I purchased 2 of these units just recently. They arrived about a month ago, and they cost me $33.90 US. And I got them directly from the M5Stack website. And I'm interested in the impact on human health and environmental sensing. But things like this can contribute as another measurement in air quality, and we can have a look at how effective our ventilation systems are in the home. But I'm also interested in how I could use it in the garden and on the farm. So the way that this unit from M5Stack works is that there's a light source, an infrared LED emitter, and that emits the light, which is captured by the light sensor. And you can see we've almost got a tiny little computer here, a system controller, and a source to modulate the IR radiation from the LED. It's also got a bit of flash memory and RAM. And in that flash memory are some of the parameters for calibration. So that's the top half. And on the bottom half, we've got the acoustic transducer. So it's turning the light signal into sound signal. And that's been processed with a digital signal processor. And the result is fed over the I2C interface. And that goes into our M5Stack core computer. And that interface here has a physical form of the Grove. So you just put a Grove cable to it and feed it into a computer. And you can actually see the measuring range. It covers the range which is critical for our human health. And the parameters on the M5 website don't actually give the accuracy on that, but we'll probe into the manufacturer of the sensor and have a look to see what they say. But you can see the accuracy of sampling is stated here, 5 parts per million or 50 parts per million, plus 5% of the reading. So I'm not quite sure what that is. Should it be 5% of the reading in addition to 50 parts per million? I'm not quite sure. But we can see from the manufacturer, they give a similar description for the accuracy. And onto the project. So I'm going to describe the project here. You can see my desktop arrangement. And I'm not only going to explore the use of the sensor, which is on the bottom, but I'm going to hook it up so that I can measure or can display the carbon dioxide level on one of the LED arrays, and the other LED array will be used to show the temperature. And those parameters are also shown on the M5 core unit, which is on the top. So my objective is to make the readings much easier for us to see. And if they are a bit high, we can go and make an adjustment to the room ventilation, or turn on the fan, or even open the window. So I'm using much larger displays so you're more aware of what's going on. And on the core LCD, I'm going to show the carbon dioxide level, the temperature, and the humidity. And on the LED array, I'll be showing the carbon dioxide and the temperature. So for the hardware, I'll be using an M5Stack core, 2 of the red 7-segment digital clock displays, and that's in a unit. And I'll also be using the carbon dioxide unit that has temperature and humidity sensors also. And we hook everything up with Grove cables. And this is how it's put together. The PC is only used for programming, and when it's ready, the UI flow program is sent down to the M5Stack core. And we go to the red port, or the port A, which is the I2C interface, and with Grove cables, we set up a daisy chain because what's interesting about these displays are that they have an input and an output. So you can hook a number of displays all together. And finally, on the same daisy chain, which is on the I2C interface, we hook up our CO2 sensor. And here's the software. So we'll go through this in a little bit of detail, but this was extracted based on the demo program on the M5Stack website. So at startup, we're setting up the CO2 sensor, and we're stopping and starting to make sure we initialize our sensing unit. And most of the other instructions are to initialize the I2C address. And you can see we've got two of them here. One's for the CO2 measurement, and the other one's for our temperature. And we only do this once right at the start. And in our loop, which goes on repeatedly, we get the measurements of CO2, temperature, and humidity, and we show those on the LCD display. And the carbon dioxide value is also shown on the LED digital array. And the second LED digital array shows us the temperature. And the event buttons are used to start and stop the measuring process. We can change the cycle so that we use a 30-second sample rate, and button C does a single shot of the measurements. And that allows us to calibrate the CO2 again if we need to. And some of the issues, you need to update the M5 burner software on your PC so that you have the latest one, version 3. Otherwise, you won't be able to put the correct firmware on your core computer. And you should update that to 1.10.6, and that works. But the latest one, the more recent one, doesn't work. To change the address of the I2C so that you can show two arrays, you use a dip switch array here and set this in binary to match. So you have a base address of 30 hex, and when you toggle the switch, you increase the address in a binary way. And you can extend these. You can see we've got a grove in and a grove out. So we can daisy chain those to show some more parameters. For example, we could show the time on a third, and on a fourth LED array, we could show the humidity. And now it joins 7 other carbon dioxide sensors in our home. And you can see this is all color-coded, so they're in different rooms in the house. And the one which is the highest, this is the one in the room which I'm currently, is 505. So it's getting a bit of a warning. And perhaps if I look at the kitchen, which is 396, it's a much safer level for the carbon dioxide. So quite an important unit, and it can help us manage our health, particularly when we have rising levels of carbon dioxide in the environment. So if you want to hop and look a bit more about the references, here are some of them here. And if you go to the M5Stack, you can look at in greater detail on their wiki and documentation, the specifications for the CO2 unit, and also for the LED array. And there are plenty of interesting publications on the sensing technique which is used here. And what's interesting about this is that there's been a continual development and refinement, so that the costs have come down and the size of the carbon dioxide sensors has been reduced over the last couple of years. And finally, if you want some references on health for both long-term and short-term impacts, there's a couple of interesting websites that you can have a look at. And so that's it for the time being, and we'll catch.
On this project with the M5 core, we have two recent modules that have been released. The sensor is a CO2 sensor with a temperature and humidity sensor. So we've got three sensors in this package, and we've got two LED arrays. Now, what's interesting, they're all connected on a daisy chain on the I2C port that goes into port A on the core. And the demonstration that I've got at the moment, on the core, you can see the values from the sensors. So we have the carbon dioxide, quite high at the moment. We have the temperature and the humidity. And this is a modification of the demonstration software at M5Stack for the CO2 unit. Now, there's a couple of things. The first thing is that you have to put the latest firmware for the core using the M5 burner. So you need to download M5 burner version 3 and use that to download the firmware for the M5Stack core. So here I'm using version 1.10.6, and don't use the latest one because it doesn't work. And you also need to set up the I2C addresses for the LED displays. And the first one is on a hexadecimal 30, and the adjacent one, which is on a daisy chain, is 31. And that's the latest demonstration of the M5 core with the recent CO2 module and the LED arrays.